The holidays are a time to feel and create joy. And what could be more joyous than the look on her face as she unwraps a stunning new jewelry piece from Blue Nile? How about getting 50% off your purchase? Blue Nile offers premium quality, priced below traditional retail. Their online experts are available 24/7 to answer any questions and make sure you've picked the perfect gift. For a limited time, you can get 50% off at BlueNile.com. That's 50% off at BlueNile.com.
This episode is brought to you by Columbia Sportswear. It's snowing again, and that wind chill is killer. But you're not worried about that because you shop the Omni Heat Infinity Collection. It's warmth perfected with tiny gold dots that reflect your body heat inside and protect you from the cold outside. No snow or chilly temps can stop you now. Go out anyway. Shop the Omni Heat Infinity Collection now at Columbia.com/infinity.
My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. Give me beer or whiskey, wine or gin, anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team's got me drinking.
Back at it again with another episode of the Shades of Blue Soccer Show. We are the Blue Testament, and we're joined by friend of the pod, Jimmy Nielsen, best friend of the pod. He's officially best friend of the pod.
I like it. I like it.
Come on, Jimmy.
Thank you.
We're good with that.
What an honor.
You're our most repeated, highly esteemed guest at this point. So
Is that because everyone else is declining joining the show or what?
correct. That is
No,
correct.
no.
I'm the only one saying yes?
We had Benny Failhaber on, so you should feel privileged.
Oh, Benny, come on. Benny's saying yes to everything.
It's true.
That would explain a lot about his social life.
Yeah. He's not social. He doesn't have a social life.
Not now.
No?
Yeah, so if you haven't been able to tell, Jimmy, we're trying to replace 96.5 The Buzz as your regular appearance.
Ah. Which one of you want to be Laszlo?
Oh, I don't think anyone wants to be Laszlo.
Oh, okay.
Cody.
Hey, I can cuss with the best of them. Come on.
Cody's Laszlo.
Oh, dear God, I hope I never become Laszlo. So, all right, guys. We are, what are we now, 8 days out from the Sporting KC season? Is that where
It's
we're
about
at?
time, isn't it? Yeah, you're right.
That, are you tingly yet? I know I offended you last time with that question. Are you tingly yet?
I'm never going to be tingly in your presence.
Come on, we have the white pumas here and you're not even tingly?
No, for Jimmy I might be, but not in your presence.
Hey, I have a quick story. You know you're getting old when a elderly customer winks at you, and I had one wink at me today. I was like, all right, that kind of hurt.
All right, Bob, more action than I've had in like a really long time since the pandemic started. So
Just got to take it.
yeah.
Scary.
And she thought she was doing the old guy a favor.
Right?
Okay, Sporting Kansas City. So Jimmy, we're going to try this thing. We have a new format for our season preview here. You are our former player. We're going to have a secret current player. Secret, I don't know if we're allowed to say it yet, and I don't want it to fall through and then get embarrassed. So
Yeah,
that wouldn't be good. That wouldn't be good.
Let's let it happen first.
Kind of like your prom date in high school, huh, Cody?
So exactly. Like, I learned my lesson back in the day. So yes, we're going to have three different perspectives. We've got former, current players, and then we're going to have a fan on the pod. So we're going to look at the season from all these different perspectives. But so just generally how are you feeling about the team right now, Jimmy, going into it? Where they were at last year? How are you feeling about this season?
I think it's been an interesting off season. And I definitely think there was something to build on from last year. I know it was a big disappointment the way they got knocked out of the playoffs, but I think there's a lot of optimism in the team and in the belief in the team. This team here, on paper, might not look the best Sporting roster ever, but from what I've seen from my following from the outside, I think it's one of the most interesting rosters in many years. A lot of young players coming through now. a lot of exciting young talent coming through the roster, and will be given the chance this season here.
Yes,
But
the chance. Busio's given the
yes,
reins now.
but I also think I'm not going to use the word pressure, but the experienced player in the roster are going to have a lot of responsibilities on their shoulder this season here, on the field and off the field. They got to be very, very important. The leadership group in this team here to carry them through a little more compact schedule than usual. So you'll probably see a lot of rotation in the team. And again, those young players will be given the chance, and we can't expect them to carry the team during a whole season, and that's where the leadership got to play a big role. I have high expectations to the leadership of this group here.
That's interesting, Jimmy. They obviously jettisoned Matt Beasler, so there's some leadership gone, but then they added Feilhaber to the coaching staff. What impact do you see there?
I think it's a smart move. Benny has the current feeling of what it's been like on being on the field. He has the current feeling of being in the locker room. He's going to be, I don't know exactly what his role is with the
that's a good point.
With the team, but he's the one. He can be the link there between the players and to Peter Remise. And again, Benny has a heck of a good experience, been a lot of good places. He knows what it takes to run a successful locker room. I think he's going to be important for the players. And I think he's going to play a bigger role than we expect.
Yeah, so after last season's defensive troubles, you should be happy to know as a keeper that they did bring on, we don't know whether to call him Nim. We prefer Nim on this show.
That's my nickname.
I don't know about we, but okay.
But apparently
that's mine.
Apparently the team has been calling him Izzy. So Nicholas Izamat Mirin. How close was I, Thad? Is that anywhere near what they've been saying?
That's close enough for a Missouri kid.
Okay, I'll take it. I would like to be better than your average Missouri kid, but I'll take that. So yeah, Jimmy, I have to imagine you're pleased to hear that the back line has some support coming in this year.
Yeah, well, of course they had to find a replacement for Matt Beasler. What I think have worked pretty good for Sporting over the last couple of seasons is the attacking part, where the defense maybe have lacked a little bit. The key for Sporting to succeed this season here is, of course, to make everything go hand in hand, still have a good attacking mindset, but on the opposite, they also got to be better to, if they can't close out the game, but to nick those 1-0 win or 2-1 wins or get a 0-0 draw on the tough road game. That's an area they can improve. But at the same time, I think Sporting have, again, one of the most exciting attacking teams. If Pulido will be healthy and stay healthy, he, of course, going to be a massive key player for the season. I have not seen him a lot, but I will say before last season started, I went to 2 practices before the season started, and that man can finish. Are you kidding me? He can finish. Yeah. And I'm like, wow, he is a good player. And I think the small glimpse we saw of him, that he is a very, very important player for the team, not only as a goal scorer, but also he's very intelligent when he drops down and his late movement into the box. He can hold off the ball, and he's a heck of a player. So, of course, he's going to be very, very important. And I don't know why we're speaking about him now. The question were about the defense, but...
I got a question then, Jimmy. So you know from experience, a lot of Peter Vermees has criticized that he's too married to the 4-3-3. He doesn't make tactical adjustments within games. Speak to that. Is Vermees doing things that we're not noticing to maybe close out games, to adjust in game?
I think it's a little bit of the style of play as well. When I was in Sporting, I think we had reputation of being a very dynamic and physical team, and where we very often outbattle the opponent. Where they're trying right now is maybe to more outplay the opponent, and I don't know all the new players good enough yet to say if they fit perfectly in, to give my opinion, but I have 100% faith and trust in Peter. He knows what he's doing. He is hardcore 4-3-3 and recruiting hardcore for the 4-3-3 system. And again, I think, including myself and people on the outside, I'm maybe too focused on systems here and there. And Peter has been consistent over many, many years with the 4-3-3, kind of becoming an expert in the 4-3-3. And that's the route he have chosen. Instead of being good at 4-4-2 and good at 3-5-2, he wants to be fantastic in 4-3-3. And I'll be honest, I think it's a great system. I think it can be a great system attacking. I think it can be a great system defending. And in the 4-3-3, there's a million different styles of play.
Right.
But what you have seen with Sporting, they want to play out from the back. They want to high press sometimes. And, it's not so much just the system. It's how you recruit the players and how do they fit into the system that you're going into. And I think he's proven over years that 4-3-3 is Sporting KC's system. And I agree. Why change? Because I think it works.
Well, how do you feel about that philosophy change from, maybe more high flying when you were on the team to now, as you were saying, they kind of build out of the back a little more? Is that something you could have seen yourself doing? Could you be one of those keepers that plays around with the ball at your feet and is dishing out 50-yard passes and things like that? Or would you just rather just kick the ball away from you? Get away from my goal.
I would probably not have fitted 100% into that style of play. That was definitely not my strength. And that's probably why he wanted me to retire too, that he wanted to change the system and the style of play. I think as a goalkeeper, he fits perfect into the way he's calm with the ball. He got a good ping in him too. He doesn't get stressed under pressure with the ball on his feet. So I think they have the perfect goalkeeper for that style of play.
That's also the reason I'm rooting Colin took the BK and not you, right?
No, I think again, back to the system. It's not so much the system as how you recruit to the system.
Yeah.
Do you still have Tim Melia's bobblehead
on my nightstand?
Yeah,
of course I do. I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's a it's a bobblehead. I think it's just a picture.
Oh, okay.
Does it keep you safe at night?
Of course, I'm in good hands.
You played as a more advanced age than a lot of people, so I'm curious as to what you would think or what some of the older players on a roster think about a decision to give the reins of the attacking midfielder, the center attacking mid, to such a young player, Busio. Is there anyone on the team that's like a little iffy about it, or do you think that Busio's got everyone's full confidence?
Oh, I think 100% he got everyone's full confidence. And again, it's not so much about your age; it's about your quality. If you're good enough, you're old enough. And I think he's proven, even when he got dropped back as a number 6, that he's a very, very, very soccer intelligent player with so many qualities. And Sporting just have to enjoy them. And I think we're all sure that at one point he will probably move on to something else in a bigger league. So enjoy him while you have him.
Yeah, I was trying to. You played until you were 31, 32?
Nope, that's wrong.
No. Like,
come on, Cody.
You failed that trivia.
Yeah.
How old?
36.
Wait, what? For real? Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
for
Yeah.
real.
I guess. Oh yeah. I guess that does make sense. 36. So what was
He
the?
came here when he was 31.
I was trying to remember if there
We'll
were
edit that part out.
if they were experimenting with any really young players while you were here. Did you take the field with anyone half your age then at that point?
I think the closest one were probably John Kempen, coming up in a very, very young age.
Tiny Puma.
Tiny Puma. It's actually John Kempen's birthday today.
Oh,
is
is
it really?
it? All right. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Kempen.
Did you just
The original
remember that?
homegrown.
Say that again?
Did you just remember that?
No, he sent me a text to remind me. No, of course there's always you got to balance out your roster, not only with position but of course with age too, so you don't have to make a massive change every other year. So there's a smooth balance, and I think the philosophy that Sporting has now with all the homegrown is absolutely amazing. It's got to be a massive motivation to be a young kid playing soccer in Kansas City right now, with seeing so many local players not being given the chance, but taking the chance through a lot of hard work and a lot of good academy work, not only with Sporting, but a lot of credit to all youth coaches around in Kansas City who's done a heck of a job with those young kids.
Did you have a question? We cut you off earlier, I think.
Well, I was just actually going into, there's 11 academy products on Sporting right now, 12 homegrowns because they stole one from somewhere else. How does it feel to have kids out there playing that's younger than your kids?
Wow. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, there you go. You just hit him in the face with that one, Thad. Good job.
I told you I had a bad question.
So, first of all, that makes me feel old. But on the other hand, I think this is the way to do it. I think it's the future, and I think having 12 homegrown in the roster is absolutely fantastic. As again, first of all, massive motivation for the kids. But this is what you see a lot of big clubs around the world are doing, and it's a lot of hard work building up not just Sporting's academy, but the whole youth system in Kansas City. And I think over the years, the academy work in Sporting has been absolutely fantastic. And again, if you're getting called into that academy, it's an absolutely massive motivation. I tried it myself when I was a young kid back in Denmark, playing for the team I ended up playing in their academy. I was a part of Norwich City's academy when I was a young kid as well. It gives you something. It gives you good tools. I'm not saying you have made it if you're in the academy, but you definitely have the tools around you to help you. You got to do it yourself. You got to push day in and day out, and of course you got to be lucky to avoid any stupid injuries. But the frame is there for you to succeed.
Yeah, that pipeline has been, ever since they announced the team, the second team of the Swell Park Rangers, that pipeline has been a very important thing to Vermees, and actually showing, like you're just saying, if you're a kid in the area, you can see the pipeline, you see the steps that you need to take. And I think that's really cool that the team does that.
By the way, I know this is an audio only pod, folks that are listening, but Jimmy did not flip that off when he asked that question. Just so you know, Jimmy's still a class act.
Even though he deserved it.
I'm not speaking to Thad more in this interview here.
Hey, you would have been classy even if you did flip me off. I'm okay with that.
So Jimmy, let's go back to the center back thing. You were there when you had very stable center backs that, just a good mix together. Sporting struggled with that the last couple of years ever since Opara left. What to you is the great combination of two center backs? What do they have to have? What qualities?
Again, it depends on the style of play on your team.
Well, 4-3-3, obviously the way Peter likes to play.
Yes, in the 4-3-3, and with the style of play that Sporting have, they obviously got to be good on the ball. What you very often will face in MLS as well, of course, is physicality from the opponent. You got to be physical, strong. You got to be good in the air, at least one of them. It's got to have that tool in the back pocket. But again, the key is how good are they to play out from the back? Are they comfortable with the ball? Are they comfortable to play out in stressful situations so they can keep possession, or the two center backs that keep turning over the ball? So there's a turnover and transition against you all the time. So it's of course important in the way that Sporting would like to play, that they're comfortable on the ball. But with all that being said, in my head, the number one priority on a defender is he can defend.
Yeah.
He can win his one-on-one situation. He can win the air duels. He can clear the ball when it needs to be clear. And again, pick the right moments when to play out from the back and when to kick the ball out of the stadium.
So in the system, a lot of teams will try to, attack the flanks when the wing backs are up front attacking, when there's a turnover. How important is the goalkeeper? How important is Tim Melia in orchestrating what goes on with his center backs in that case, what goes on with holding midfielder, et cetera?
No, of course, communication is one of the key to succeed. And it can save you a lot of running if you're listening to those informations. You've got to be at the right place at the right time. But of course, as a goalkeeper, it's important to keep track of your two center backs all the time, and of course your full backs as well, and the holding mid. But again, if you're a team like Sporting is playing with a lot of possession on high up on the field, well, how can the opponent hurt them? Well, it's going to be transition moments where they got to be ready from attack to defense. Yeah. And those center backs, you will need speed because there's a lot of ground behind you to cover. And the goalkeeper, as we've seen a million times with Team Melia, he's got to have a good offensive position so he can come out and be that extra sweeper with the long passes in behind the back line.
Mm-hmm.
Robert, I'm glad you asked Jimmy that question about what kind of a pair of center backs, because when I think about center backs, now I was a forward. I think people who want to be defenders are weird, so I don't know much about defending. But when I think about two center backs, or like the ideal center back pairing, I go right to the two center backs you played with, Jimmy, of Colin, who was just known to be the player that would linger forward. He'd get crazy and run forward and stay up there after a corner kick and, take more risks. And Matt Biesler was the one that would kind of stay back and, hold the line a little more. And so when I think of an ideal center back pairing, those are the two kind of roles that I'm looking for in my head.
When you started off the question, even without mentioning the names, there was the two names that came up in my head as well.
Yep.
I think it was an absolutely fantastic combination with the two of them. Everyone knows I love Colin, but he was kind of the guy who could cut off his brain and be that ruthless defender that he had to be sometimes. And he would take those ridiculous battles. And that was what made him so good. Biesler were more the guy with the speed, a little more conservative defender than Aurelian was. But those two combined in my head were absolutely perfect together. Absolutely perfect together. And with the fullbacks we had at that point too, with Seth Sinovic, and I think Chance Myers played the most games again as a right back. Yeah. It was an absolutely fantastic back four.
Seth Sinovic. He finally stopped playing at some point, didn't he? I legitimately thought he was going to play my entire life.
Hey, and Colin's still clinging on. He's with Philadelphia again this year. So.
He is.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, Seth is not officially retired.
But it's weird. Colin didn't play a minute last year, right? That's crazy. But he's back with him again.
He might have played like Open Cup or something.
Yeah, I texted with him a few weeks ago a few months ago when they just had the baby, and he wasn't sure if he was coming back to Philly, but he would hope that he was staying because they loved living where they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, Colin's a good guy. I like him.
He is an absolutely fantastic guy. absolutely one of the best teammates I ever had in my entire career.
He would
Okay.
kill to defend for you, wouldn't he?
Say it again.
He would kill to defend for you, wouldn't he?
He would, and again, this is not bragging, but also what made Beasler and Colin good. They would listen to the information they were being given.
No, keepers need that. I know they do.
They do, because as a goalkeeper, sometimes you're playing off your defenders. You know, you're telling them one thing and you're moving or maybe cheating a little bit, and that can help you. So we had an absolutely brilliant relationship.
Nah, I don't know. I think sometimes keepers just like yelling at people. They're not involved enough. They want to yell at people just so they can get noticed. That's my opinion.
Did, and I had a gentleman agreement with Matt Beasler, especially when we're winning with one goal up with not a lot of time left. And he knew that when I came running out to him and started yelling weird stuff, that was just a little act and to kill a few seconds on the clock.
Yes, I'm vindicated. Now
Yes.
I can tell this story as my reasoning for that logic from here on out.
Yeah, but Cody, you don't like keepers anyway, man.
I was hoping you wouldn't out me in front of a legendary one here.
That's okay. I can live with that.
All right, Jimmy, we will let you go, but we're definitely going to ask you to come back on more. Now it's just over video. We don't have to have you meet us somewhere. So we know you like talking. We're gonna bug you a lot. Just to
honestly, I don't have a life right now. I can be on the show as much as you want. I have all the time in the world.
Hell yes.
Right. Well, let's just have him on every week until he finds a real job.
Yeah.
You may regret telling us that, but
Hey, call or text me anytime you want, guys. It's an absolutely pleasure joining your show.
right on, man. Well, thanks for coming along, and we'll talk to you soon.
My pleasure. Take care, all of you.
Thank you, Jimmy. You too.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Don't seem so tough, and 3 own goals ain't all that rough. Our skipper has just been sent off. Supporters strong have all gone soft. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. Give me beer or whiskey, wine or gin, anything to shake this mood I'm